Getting a little disoriented with all the time skips, by the way. We're just teleporting from scene to scene with different groups of people. When Aliena's brother just showed up all of a sudden, I was like, who? What? Oh, right, he's still in this game.
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty. England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waleran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shiring. Many had died. The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret. And everything changed.
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. I don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all.
I know. You did not plan the cathedral to be that high.
I reinforced the walls, like in Saint Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it?
The east wall is about to collapse. Why? What could be the cause? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is a new cathedral. Why is there giant, like, gouges carved into it at the moment? Problem. Hammer and chisel. Pick up them tools, never know when we'll need them. Definitely don't just leave them sitting there on the, wow, okay. I didn't do that. That's not supposed to happen. No telling how long it will hold. Doesn't look that bad from up here. Huge cracks all the way down. Is somebody sabotaging us? Did the hammer and chisel get used?
Now's not the time to fix this.
Well, we'd test the stone.
I need to find out what caused all of this.
Maybe a saboteur is attacking our church, or maybe the stone is bad. Maybe you're not actually good at this. They look alright. North and south walls provide enough stability. Thank God.
Looks alright. I don't think we have a problem here. That won't help solving my problem.
Been weeks now. The noise and sand never stop. I hope Aliena's alright.
One day, people will fly. Like birds. Sailing on the wind. Rashid told me. The storm makes it worse, but I don't believe it's the cause of our problem.
Will the screen scroll? Yes, it will. These continue to be just incredibly beautiful paintings, by the way. Playing this game and Shadow of the Colossus back to back is a real treat, visually. Let's leave the roof, I guess? I don't...
I'm not done here yet.
You said that the roof isn't the problem. Oh, the vaulting? A small crack. Vaulting unstable? Is this damaging the wall?
The vaulting is cracked. Over here, the vaulting looks weak. What would you have to say about this, Tom? Yes. If the vaulting was unstable, it could pull the wall inward and damage it.
Especially with this storm putting pressure on the wall from the outside. We have to find out. If I widen these cracks, we'll see if our problem gets worse or not. I don't like it, but I'll have to fix it either way. If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is.
Oh, right, these. Oh, that was good job, buddy.
Be easier without this sand everywhere. All right. One more time.
You're standing on top of it. That's kind of terrifying. I feel like it's gonna come apart with you on it. Ow.
Damn. I'm getting old.
Already?
If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom, what would you have done now? When we erected the eastern wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it. But the cause could have been the same in both cases. The crypt! Huh? Yes, Tom. You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight before. That's it! The problem must be down there.
They were enraged. Bishop Henry thinks that the Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so, too. I would be honored if he read my book.
Philip, I really am worried about you.
There is no need for you to worry, Jonathan. It is just a book.
The problem is that the people love your sermons and what you wrote, even though most of them can't read. Your book is being copied in priories all over England.
Is that not a good thing, if our message gives people hope?
In desperate times, hope can be a powerful force.
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Huh? Do you?
"3 years were not kind to Philip," it would look like. Philip's second book, The Divine Soul. People love Philip's books. They react so positively and attack him and try to murder the people around him. Yay! In this text, Philip suggests that we all carry a godly spark within us because God created man, and while sometimes it may seem as if God had abandoned us, God is indeed always closer to us than anything else, because our soul is of a divine nature. This means that man does not have to wait for salvation from the outside, but that we all can change the world around us ourselves. We can plant a seed, and God in turn will make it grow. Philip's message of hope is heard in all of England, and even other parts of Europe, but the Church is highly critical of the text. In his first book, Philip had only criticized fake miracles. Now he seems to claim that, as all men are equally divine, members of the clergy are not closer to God's glory than any other man. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Oh, the garden's gone. Oh. Jonathan's tree. Still braving the storm. Steadfast. Apparently that's all that's left. The entire garden is gone. The vines are gone. Everything's just sad and gray now.
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there.
You shouldn't be up there risking your life. You should be with your children. Sally and Tommy have been asking for their parents all morning.
How old is Sally? I thought they just said it's been 3 years. Holy crap, Tommy's way older now. Aliena and Jack's family. 1154. After their promise to Wailerin to keep Kingsbridge protected, Richard and Jack have spent much time fortifying the town. Since then, William Hamley has not dared to attack the town again. Aliena, who has continued her wool business, trades mostly outside of shiring. Most of the fleece is traded to she is trading is produced in Kingsbridge, where Jack erected 2 felting mills. Aliena and Jack have 2 children now. Tommy is already 12 years old. His little sister Sally is 9. Martha looks after both of them while Jack and Aliena are working. Some believe that Martha and Richard are in love, but if that were true, they are keeping their secret well guarded. 12 years old. Okay, so I thought they meant 3 years. So over the course of this, because we spent maybe a year or something like that on the round. There was 1 year of dealing with the marriage, 1 year-ish of dealing with like the round trip across the country looking for Jack. Then they said it's been 3 years since he last saw Jack, which meant that which must mean they meant spend 1 more year touring with the idol. Then I thought they said in that narration 3 years, but apparently Tommy's already 12 years old, so I guess that's our new correction on how much time has passed over the course of this episode so far.
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the fleece fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all right.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late.
That's what really makes it clear just how much time has passed over the course of this game as a whole, is that Jonathan here is the person we witnessed the birth of in the first scene of the entire game, and now he is not a baby. Jonathan will be sub-prior soon, still does not know who his father is. The people love his sermons. His book was written from the heart. He found his truth.
I think I know what caused the problems we have with the east wall.
Wonderful. You know, I just realized that the crack in the wall reminds me of the one that the old cathedral had.
The one that burned down?
Yes. I only noticed it when I visited after Prior James died.
It wasn't there before then?
No. I remember that I thought the crack looked like a finger, pointing at the sinners of Kingsbridge.
A grim thought.
I was not happy with the state of Kingsbridge back then. I admit that.
Jonathan is probably right. Aliena will be fine. Still, I'd feel better if she was here with us.
Well, yeah, you said there's roaming brigands out and about. That's kind of worrying. This place looked so nice right before the time skip. And it was less built back then. And it had that majestic god rays with the vines and nature everywhere. Now it's just dusty and dying. Can we go back to that other country? That seemed nice. Granted, we were seeing it from the perspective of what people that were very wealthy. Right above the crypt. Cause must be down there. But what could cause this? Maybe it's that one owl. He's just being a dick about it. Did you see that happen? Jack? Did you see the crack just grow right in front of you? There you are. What are you doing all the way down here? Tell me.
That definitely wasn't here before. The cause of the instability must be down here.
Is the entire church built on unstable ground? There you are. The statue Rashid gave me would draw as many people here as Adolphus did, if it weren't for the drought and the storm.
Rashid was right. People love to believe in miracles. The reason most people come to Kingsbridge now is for Philip's sermons. He tells them what they need to hear. He gives them hope.
I wonder if this relic is built on an actual specific historical relic, or if not, I wonder if anyone has built their own based on the book, because the book's been out for like a while, I want to say. I don't actually remember its publication date, but I'm just going to guess 20 years. So I just wonder if somebody would have read the book and recreated the relic and see if they can make it work that way with the condensation apparently gathering based on temperature changes in the eyes. I assume there's like glass or some other form of thing that makes up the eyes itself, and that leads to the more dramatic temperature change compared to the surrounding wood.
Do you know what's going on here, Mary?
It's you. You did it.
Yes, she has an influence on people, but I doubt she can make the walls tumble down. This is the spot. Let's find out what the real problem is. The old wall here, or what's behind it.
Well, we could just start whacking away at it and bring the entire church down on top of us. This is terrifying. Ah, crap.
Here we go.
This just doesn't seem like the greatest idea.
Dear God. These stones, they've been removed before. Whoever put them back just added some mortar on top of the stones to hide the fact that they were removed. The tile at the bottom was completely loose.
What does that mean?
I think it was an entrance.
An entrance? To where?
The Illuminati.
What we'll find out.
Careful now.
Ooh, maybe they'll find Excalibur.
East wall on top of you. Jack?
Jack?
I'm all right. I just hit my head. It's dark in here.
There's a whole room here. A chamber.
I'll get a torch.
Philip, I'll get it. You stay here.
I was gonna say, you guys have a whole area dedicated to candles in that room. You didn't think to bring a light with you? Brush? What is that? Looks like brush. It's long. Almost like a coffin. A wooden drinking cup? At least that's what I think it is. Sand everywhere. Parts of the room must have collapsed. Made part of the wall unstable. So if you reinforce whatever's going on here, or seal it up, or create a proper doorway or something, you can create a better foundation for the church, perhaps?
Is that a coffin? Oh, there's sand everywhere. Huh? It's a bed.
What?
There's a bed in here.
What? Jonathan, we need that torch.
It seems like a cell or a penitent area. Like, that brush is going to be a cat of nine tails, isn't it?
It's made of leather. It's a whip. What is that doing here?
It's for beating yourself, basically. To repent.
That's not wood. It's metal. Gold, even.
I have the torch.
Wait, is it going to be the Holy Grail?
Come in here. Should be safe.
Did you know about this place?
No. No, I did not. I have seen this chalice before, when I was very young. It's the chalice of the Eucharist from Kingsbridge Cathedral.
The chalice they say my father stole. Oh shit, it's actually here.
Cuthbert told me about it. They said it was stolen.
And melted down, I know. Mother told me. They also said it was my father who did it.
Did they?
So he's innocent then?
He must be.
And whoever hid the chalice is responsible for his death. They hanged him in Shiring for stealing this chalice. But it was here all along.
That scourge, the whip. It belonged to Prior James. I was afraid of it when I first visited Kingsbridge with Francis and Abbot Peter. Even the look of it scared me.
James. Maybe it was him. I think I saw him during the night of the fire in the cathedral. When the old cathedral burned down, there was a man in the fire. His shoulders were bloody, as if he had chastised himself.
It is you! By God and the devil!
He told me that he had sinned, that he had done something to me. Perhaps because I looked like my father.
So he confessed for framing your father while he hid the cup here?
But it couldn't have been James you saw. James died weeks before the fire.
Did he? You said they never found his body. Maybe he hid down here. Maybe that's why the bed's here.
Wait. Jack, you were in the burning cathedral. What were you doing there?
And then I told Philip what I'd done. He just looked at me and didn't say anything.
I feel like the most interesting outcome is to see what happens if the truth comes out. And also, part of his repentance might involve that. As a child, Philip was afraid of Prior James's scourge. He first saw it when he and Abbot Peter, the man who raised him and Francis after their parents were killed, visited Kingsbridge. Years later, James decided that Philip, now a young man, should get the chance to lead his own priory cell, St. John in the Forest. Every time Philip visited the mother house in Kingsbridge, he always remembered the day he first saw the scourge. Abbot Peter did not like the idea that pain could lead to salvation, but Prior James believed that chastising oneself was the only way to cleanse the soul from sinful implications of the flesh. After Jack told Philip that he believed Prior James was alive and that the day the cathedral burned down, Philip remembered that only weeks before, the choir did not dare to sing because they thought they heard some chastising himself in the crypt. Maybe they really did hear James. Maybe James did hide in the secret room in the crypt, but why?
Wailerin, what do you want?
Do you think it is wise to resign yourself to gluttony at times like these, while your people starve on the streets of Shiring?
Don't play the saint. You promise them miracles, and you make them pay. But your miracles never work out, do they?
God works in ways that we cannot comprehend.
My mother cannot walk. You failed.
Again. What do you want?
I came about a book.
The Bible again?
No. Philip of Gwynedd wrote it. And the church is displeased. Bishop Henry was enraged. This is our chance, William.
Your chance, you mean? If you need forces, talk to Walter or Ugly. I don't care. I built your fucking cathedral. I'm done.
It's not just about Philip. It's about Aliena and her family.
Don't mention that name.
But have you not heard? King Stephen and Maud's son just signed a peace treaty.
I don't care.
You should care.
I said I don't. Now leave, and don't come back unless I ask for you. Where's my wife?
They've not returned yet, Lord William.
Then get me a whore! Now!
Asswipe's been putting on some pounds for the last 12 years. The end of the war and the Treaty of Wallingford, 1154. After over 15 years of civil war, the battle between Stephen and Maud, England was more divided than ever. After a final confrontation at Wallingford, Empress Maud's son Henry II and Stephen arranged a truce. The treaty was later signed in Winchester and Westminster. According to the treaty, Stephen will remain king until his death and then be succeeded by Henry II. The treaty further states that all decisions regarding land which were made during Stephen's reign are immediately reverted and restored to the time of King Henry I. This means that the earldom of Shiring again belongs to the heirs of Bartholomew and not to the Hamleys. But who would dare to go against William Hamley? Oh shit, his entire claim to property is gone now. We'll see if that actually pans out. Wow. Okay. Seems rather relentless, the storm. Did I miss that? I can't tell. A dot moves so fast. Coin for the road, father's dagger. If only we could take back the earldom. Yeah, we are currently the rightful owners of that land now, aren't we? Not the Hamleys. Maybe I'll get to use the dagger on William. Wouldn't that be great?
I'm sorry for intruding, but I must ask you for shelter. I was on my way from the Fleece Fair in Winchester to Kingsbridge and got caught in the storm.
Nasty, isn't it?
Yes. And it's getting worse and worse. Thank you for your hospitality.
Are they outside and everyone's ignoring them or something? That's a special kind of uncomfortable to have everyone not even acknowledging it. The scream's coming up from outside. Someone's crying. Why isn't anyone doing anything?
Didn't you hear that? Doesn't anyone want to go and see what that was? Don't you hear it?
Why is no one acknowledging it? That's really creepy. Because it means that they might all be implicit. I mean, complicit, not implicit. Are those rocks? I can barely see.
Hello? Oh dear, are you hurt?
My horse! It fell! I can't move!
Take my hand! We'll get you inside! We'll only be here until it's safe to leave. We won't bother you.
Is everyone else here normally here?
I'm Aliena. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Breathe, Elizabeth. You're safe now.
Mm-hmm. She took her.
Should have let her die. We would all be better off without someone like her.
Oh, is it because it's a noblewoman and they're like, eh, screw that person. Except that's who I, well, was. I can't look at this person. He's the most noteworthy looking person in the entire room, is this, like, Strider looking character over here.
I hope the storm spares your homes and fields.
If only we had that much left.
We still have our lives.
And our dignity.
You still have yours.
Right, everyone's so out of money and food that they probably resent anyone that looks like that.
We'll see what happens. You should get out of this place as soon as you can.
Be assured, I will leave as soon as the storm ceases.
Unless you're implying it's somehow worse to be here now. This guy's creepily standing here with a knife all the time, and he won't stop staring directly at it. And he's holding the blade. Oh look, he moves sometimes a little bit. Oh, that didn't really make it less weird. Just a girl beside herself, that poor soul. Find something to warm her. The meat, obviously, or the fire. Room filled with smoke. Fire keeps everyone warm. Hard to breathe. Yeah, the smoke is kind of excessive in here, isn't it?
I think she's freezing.
Yeah,
Maybe we should be kinder to her.
No, they don't deserve our kindness.
Oh, wow. Spiteful, huh? Just a little... You can barely see what's up there. Smoke's filling the entire room.
Just try to ignore it. I am.
There's like a skin up there. What can we interact with in here? There's that guy, the woman, oh, the bowl. The pot. There's soup in the pot, looks rather thin. Is there a hoof in there? Maybe the bowl? Little clay bowl, clean enough for eating. Should I get her a warm cup? Are people gonna freak out about that? How far does hospitality generally go? I mean, I get away with this stuff all the time in KCD, but I don't think that's entirely intentional.
We don't have much, but always enough for a lost soul.
See, she's offering it. I think these two might be the ones that own this place, but I can't tell. How many people live in this building? I imagine not this many. Does anyone live in this building? It looks like it's more of a food type place, not a living place.
Eat this. You must be hungry.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
Why are you giving her soup? Dirt. That's what she deserves for dinner.
What? Do you want her to starve?
Please, don't start a fight.
Find something to warm her. What am I missing her at? I mean, she could come to the fire if she wants. I don't know what else to do. I can't warm her with money. Smoked pieces of meat. Could be old, but nourishing. A rare sight during a famine.
She's avoiding eye contact.
That's always a good sign. What else is interactive around here? There's the old woman, the child. Oh, there's a blanket right there. A used blanket, threadbare but warm. Are they gonna freak out about that too? Smells like horse.
What are you gonna do with that?
I'm just going to borrow it.
Let's try to get along until the storm passes.
Are they gonna freak out about the sight of like somebody like her getting comforted or something?
Thank you.
Hey, that's our blanket.
Can't you see she's freezing?
It's all right. It's just a blanket.
Oh, you're so kind. Many people would have let me die. People don't listen to me. My entourage didn't even notice they lost me.
Who?
My husband and his entourage.
A fine husband you have. I divorced my last one for less than that.
Divorced? Oh, he's just been beside himself ever since his mother.
Maybe now you'll understand what loss feels like. And what you people are doing to us.
She is Hamley's wife.
Stop bullying her. Can't you see she's upset? How do they know you? This isn't right.
Oh, I'm used to it. I guess that's how it is when your husband holds an office like that.
No.
He has to do a lot of things people don't.
No, it's what happens when your husband's William Hamley.
Sometimes they recognize me, too.
Wait.
That's why everyone's weirdly resentful of this person and abandoning her to die outside. because Hamley is so hilariously evil as an individual and she is his wife. But I don't know if she's like that necessarily, but she's definitely justifying what he does, it sounds like, which is not a great start.
Is your husband the Earl of Shiring?
I thought you knew.
William Hamley.
Oh, please don't abandon me too. I swear, I'm not. I can't.
I used to know him when I was a girl.
Really?
Why did you marry him?
My parents arranged it. And it was an honor to be picked.
What's he like now?
I loathe him with all my heart. How do you know him?
He wanted to marry me when I was your age. Apparently he likes young girls, no matter how old he gets.
You too were supposed to marry him. How come you didn't?
He was a beast. So I refused.
You refused him?
It caused a lot of misery.
You're so courageous. I wish I was like you. I can't even stand up to the servants.
Don't act like you didn't have a hand in the downfall of this land. For years he roamed across the country to raid, rape and kill.
I'm sorry.
He's no earl. After all he's taken from us, we should take something from him too.
She has nothing to do with this. Don't you dare touch her. Can't you see she's another one of his victims?
Oh, give over. She's in on it too.
Can you even imagine how it must be to be a child married to Hamley? The abuse and the humiliation every single day. I'm so sorry.
I'm crying because you know too.
Enough to know your pain.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Sam, where the hell am I supposed to tether this horse?
It's Walter. He's looking for me.
We need to hide her immediately.
Come with me to Kingsbridge. People will take care of you there.
That should do it.
Walter.
You? I've not seen you in a long time. William would be very pleased if I brought him your head.
No! Don't harm her. If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead. She saved me from the storm.
Did she now? Come on, we have to get back to the castle. We've lost too much time already.
Elizabeth stays with me.
No, she doesn't.
Thank you for saving me and protecting me from these people.
Come on now, we need to get going. William is waiting.
Well, that was a dead end, wasn't it? I don't think that's going. Inspect his wife. About William's wife. Note from Aliena, 1154. Wasn't my rejection that is that a weird, outdated tense, or is that another typo? Because I've seen like 3 typos so far, I think. Was it my rejection that bittered William to the prospect of marriage for the years that followed? Was I the reason he married so late? After I met Elizabeth I, later, I found out that... No, not Elizabeth I. After I met Elizabeth, I later found out that she was the daughter of Harold of Weymouth, a wealthy knight and a supporter of Stephen. Elizabeth was only 14 at the time of the wedding. Bishop Waleran wed them to the Cathedral of Shiring, and everyone of importance was invited to a large feast. Elizabeth is a gentle girl who probably felt honored to be chosen to become the Earl's wife. I dare not imagine how William treated her. Or one more reason to finally put an end to all of this. I wonder if it was a good idea to give her the knife or not. That's an insane direction to go in. Like, what if she killed Hamley? But also, does she really seem like the type that would really even be able to make a move at all? We just lose the knife. The options are crazy, though, especially having to make a quick one in the moment as Walter comes beating down the door. God damn, how old is Hamley? Like 40, marrying a 14-year-old probably? It's deeply uncomfortable. And of course Waleran's involved because he'd totally be up for everything. Chapter 17, The Storm. You found a secret chamber underneath Kingsbridge Cathedral. You confessed to Philip that you burned down the cathedral. Philip's book is strongly criticized by the church. The war between Empress Maud and King Stephen has ended. I wonder if his books are conditioned in any way by my dialogue. I wonder if choices you make as Philip over the course of the game change the type of book he writes, and then essentially how his books are treated by the church are somehow like an indictment by the church on how you play Philip throughout the entire game? Or is it just he always writes the same book no matter what? I don't know. I'm curious about that. But the war is over, which we were not largely invested in, but it had a pivotal moment on Philip's faith in the last chapter, or not chapter, book. You found Elizabeth only after you entered the hut. You brought her some soup. You helped her warm up with a blanket. You kept quiet when Walter entered the hut.